Great to have you with us. Now, they call it borderless investing. It's where you buy outside your home turf in search for a better investment return.
Buying interstate, however, carries many risks. Victor Kumar, author of Supercharge Your Property Portfolio and director of Right Property Group, joins us now to explain what they are and how to avoid them. Victor, welcome to you. Great to have you back with us once again.
Thank you.
Look, besides spreading your investment, what are the other benefits of buying interstate?
Look, as you know, I've been investing interstate for quite a while. In fact, James, you'd recall back in the olden days,
yes,
good olden days, yeah, we used to go into the real estate agent's office and they'd bring out a big lever arch file and go through all the pamphlets because the internet wasn't prevalent and certainly you couldn't really research really quickly. But now with the information age, the advantage is that we can truly be borderless. And one of the things that we can do is actually buy counter-cyclically. So as you can see, Melbourne and Sydney are in a decline now, whereas all the metrics are showing that Brisbane is still powering ahead. So therefore, it allows us to get into a different state where the market is still tracking upwards. And the other thing, of course, is if you're priced out of Sydney or Melbourne, you could go to a state that's got a lower entry point if you've got a lesser deposit. Certainly go into that state to get into a lower entry point and also potentially get a higher yield. So the cost to hold the property much closer to CBD may be significantly lower.
What are the risks of buying interstate? Are there big risks?
Look, there are certainly risks out there, and one of the most important risks that we hold is we tend to look at interstate properties with local eyes. So, as an example, we are Sydney-based, and if we start looking at, say, Brisbane properties with Sydney eyes, a property that's close to CBD metropolitan is looking very, very cheap because it's got a 4 in front of it, as an example.
Yes.
Whereas we used to seeing properties with 6, 7, 8s in front of them for something of a similar distance. Yet the property with 4 in front of it would potentially be overpriced in that area. So we need to be really mindful that that's, we're looking at it from its actual, that state's local eyes rather than our state's local eyes.
Have you seen some examples where people have got it wrong?
Look, I have, and especially when you're looking at the internet age where the property's dressed in its Sunday best. We want to see the property in its working clothes. Really, where people get it wrong is looking at the internet photos, which we can see on the screen now. This is the same property where the grass looks a lot greener. So, the old image of grass
greener on the outside.
And this particular one here, this is actually something I'm seeing quite often now, where the furniture is photoshopped. Now, this slide here, this is exactly the same property. This is taken from my videos that I took of the property in the same week. So it's chalk and cheese. So this has been photoshopped, and I'm starting to see a lot of these on the net. So if you're totally reliant on buying properties just by looking at photos on the net, that's what you'll end up with.
That's quite a difference, isn't it?
It is a huge difference, and that certainly trips up a lot of people.
And they showed you the property like that. Like when you walk through, there's unmade beds. And
unmade beds.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can see the cloud patterns, the grass, the tint of the grass, and all that's a dead giveaway that it has been digitally enhanced.
Yeah, much more reality. And it does have a big impact on that pretty vision. I mean, we've seen a huge flow.
A bit like what you see on Instagram versus what you see in real life, isn't it?
Well, there you go. That's the age we look in, right? Live in. We present everything.
We look the same in both, okay, just so that you know. This is live. What do you think, what's some of the baseline research that you should sort of be doing to view the properties
certainly
properly?
And James, I'm afraid that I won't impress you this time because I've actually brought some notes in on paper last time, unlike last time, because I didn't want to get it wrong and not miss a point. The most important thing that you need to start off with macro, right? Start off with what's happening in the country globally. So what's the sentiment? Bring it back to micro, to that suburb. Look at what's happening in that area, what's driving it, apart from the normal fundamentals, what else is driving, what's the catalyst in there. Then we look at the crime rate in that area, particularly if you're investing in different states, and more so if you're investing in regional areas. you want to make sure that you're ending up in the right street so that it's not going to be something that's not rentable. In that sense, there are streets in certain regional areas that the whole street the property managers won't look at. So one of the things I do is talk to the property managers about the potential area I'm investing in, the potential property. Then I do some RP data core logic research. So what I look over there is what other properties are selling for in that area, what they have sold for in the last 6 months, how many other properties are on the market that are very similar within 1 to 2 kilometer radius of that area. And then, of course, making sure that I do flood searches, mining overlay searches. That is something that's not readily available information on the net, right? So you're looking at particularly software. Then I also go that extra step, and I go to PD online. So that's your development overlay. So what's happening next to you? Is there a big high-rise scheduled to go up next to you? We then go up and down the street using Google Street View, which is a fantastic tool. I mean, you don't have to actually go there. You can actually see how the street looks. And then having an aerial view to make sure that you're looking at the boundaries of the property before you even start putting an offer in. Once you've done that, and once you're getting to a point where you are getting close to acceptance, my recommendation is you're about to spend $500,000. Spend the $500, take a flight, have a walk down the street, make sure that you're not buying a property with a neighbor from hell. As an example, it is a small amount of money you're spending to protect your nest egg, or if you don't have the time, certainly engage professionals that will do that for you and source these properties for you, because they would do all of these researches, and I'm a strong advocate of not buying sight unseen. Especially when
I would
most
say that
properties
makes a great deal of sense.
Absolutely.
So you recently bought a property in Queensland, and you went up and checked it out in person. Tell us about what led to this purchase.
Well, this particular property itself, this was 20 minutes out of Brisbane CBD in the University Precinct. It is what we call a high set. It is in the what's called the work zone, WALK. That's my accent kicking in. So what that means is that it has got some development potential in the future as it starts getting rezoned. Certainly, it is something that is pretty much giving you a 5% yield, so very easy to hold on to. It's got good bones. Right close to all amenities.
The rental return,
you just wouldn't get that in Sydney or Melbourne.
Is crazy.
If you paid $800,000 in Melbourne, there's no way you'd get $800 a week rent. It's
and especially when you're talking 20 minutes out of CBD as well. So that's a clear example of something that you could buy interstate that you would not able to necessarily afford.
And we're going to delve into some more detail on this subject later in the show. But potentially you're looking at cash flow neutral or cash flow positive properties when you're looking in that kind of price bracket.
That's true.
It was also a great size block too, so you talked about that future potential and risen higher side, so great to get water off the block for any development.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really good. We've got another one now that in South Australia, we've seen a lot of New South Wales, Welshmen and the Victorians move to Adelaide for pricing.
Yes.
Tell us about this one.
So Adelaide is a state that keeps giving, right? So this particular property, it's in a small complex of 5 villas, all renovated, and we were able to secure 4 of them for our clients. You're pretty much at your doorstep is the trams, and you're about 5 minutes away from the uni and the CBD. And we've purchased this for $215,000. It was already rented for $275,000. This is a great example of being able to balance your portfolio. So if you've got a highly negative cash flow property in Sydney or Melbourne as an example, you could pigeon pair this with this property, and you've got both growth. Certainly not getting the explosive.
You're not going to get a lot of growth there, are you?
Well, you get consistent growth in Adelaide is a state that gives you consistent growth, provided you get the asset selection correct. It gives you consistent ongoing growth in there.
But the return, 275 for 215, is crazy.
Yes, it is. It is, and these are common properties that you would be able to find in your Adelaide market, and considering that it is pretty much about 7 minutes out of CBD, and there's a very strong demand for these sort of villas.
But that is one you would want to go check out, especially if it's a complex of villas. You'd want to see how other people are living in that complex and make sure it's a desirable place for a tenant to be.
There could be the negative of such a low price point that it might also be a lot of, I don't know, young guys renting together or something like that that might be in their prime of their party time. It might not be great if you've got a young child or something trying to put them to bed.
Nothing beats eyeballing the property physically, because then you're looking at it in its present condition. You're looking at it with all of its surrounds as to what's happening in the area. Are there major roadworks happening? Is there a party house next door and all that sort of stuff. So it's really important that you have a look at the properties physically.
Now, you've been brave enough to wade into the WA property market, which not everybody's bold enough to do at the moment. Why did you think this was a good buy?
Look, this is 15 minutes out of Perth CBD. It is next to the largest shopping centre in Perth. And it's got the zoning where you can go up to 27 metres high. The council's actively turning around and saying that we would not support any other development but multiple units on this. Right? So
they really want it.
Absolutely.
That's a big block too, isn't it?
It is a big block, and the house itself is fairly solid, so you can hold it long term. And this is a really good example of buying interstate, and you're buying ahead of recovery on properties that you're buying this below cost of construction.
And again, the rental return really for 400, 420 there for 490. It's still great return.
It is great return, particularly
and
potentially
for Perth you could tart it up a little bit and get a better tenant in if you wanted to.
Absolutely.
Okay, and obviously the proximity there is really the reason why you're doing your homework. And do you have to go and view this one yourself? I mean, you say it's so close to the shopping centre, but does that mean that the road's busy out the front, or there's no parking and those sort of things as well? Yeah,
no, I've physically been to this property and negotiated it. So one of the things that as I said, I don't advocate is doing things online. Someone has to physically walk through the property. And it's not just your pest and building inspector, it's just not your valuer. Someone that's trusted and someone that has got the experience in that market that needs to walk through the property to make sure that it is something that fits in with the tenant market there. And also, if you were wanting to offload the property down the track, you've got a larger pool of people that'll buy it off you as well. Very easy to get into property, substantially harder to get out of it.
Yeah, this is true. And I've had some wildly unsuccessful experiences with online shopping, so I can understand. I can understand why it really makes sense to go and try it on for size.
I can't even go there. One cupboard that looked very different online, Sophie bought for her son. Now, you always talk about great research, Victor. You give really good sound advice to our viewers to get into the property market. Director with Right Property Group. Another thing you should be doing when you're taking your flights around the country is see who's sitting next to you in the plane or getting off at the airport. And if it's Victor, follow him and see where he goes, because he's there on site looking at his next investment. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. It's very calm, your process, and I think it's very sound advice to be able to... Not everything is as pretty as the picture looks.
That's correct.
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Victor. Our next live auction is underway in Glen Waverley. Andrew Damashki is agent and auctioneer, and he's in action now.
But there are some points we are required to highlight. The contract reads as follows. The vendor sells, the purchaser buys the property, being the land and the goods, for the price and on the conditions set out in this contract. Ladies and gentlemen, which are standard to all contracts of sale. Again, we won't be reading through all these, but as a proud member of the RIV, today's auction will be conducted in accordance with the Land and Sale Act 2014 and any additional conditions that were made available before commencing our auction here today. Ladies and gentlemen, to assist you, can I just go through some of the auction rules? I'll indicate bidders.
All right, just a reminder of the property that's on offer here. We're looking at 6 Chapman Boulevard in Glen Waverley, Victoria. A really substantial home, a 6-bedroom house with a pool. It has been really well styled, and it kind of plays to what we were just discussing with Victor, in that the photos make it look amazing, but even the agent has said, look, there is a bit of work that's probably not immediately obvious from looking at these pictures, because it looks like it's
presented really well. And continuing with the 6s, number 6, 6 bedrooms, it's also on 600 985 square metres.
Oh, I see what you did there.
You like that? We do have a price guide of this one to 900 to 990,000, and we did speak to Andrew, who's the auctioneer in this case, but also the agent, so he knows his property inside and out. And he also spoke about a lot of people coming through with their eye on being able to understand what is required, just to put a lick of paint or update where needed on this property, because as you've rightly said, Sophie, it presents really well. I think the styling's been done beautifully on this property. Great views to the back, but also it feels really nice and light and bright, which is the thing that you can't always get in all properties. That natural light is so important. Yeah,
and he says it's appealing to people from sort of different cultural backgrounds, families who might be more used to living intergenerationally, and that's why that, you know, big house is appealing to lots of different buyers. The current owners have had it since 2013. They paid $865 for it. The online estimates value it at a bit higher than what the price guide is today. CoreLogic, but you know, this is a computer working it out. This is not people who've actually walked around the house. But the value could be sort of 1.1. I think the bidding is just getting underway, so we will tune back in and see where Andrew Damashki is at with the crowd.
Top of the street here, got Waverley Golf Course, to Caulfield Grammar, Willis Hill Secondary College, Mount View Primary, ladies and gentlemen, is just up the road. Highly coveted school here in the Glen Waverley area. Ladies and gentlemen, there's so much we can talk about, but you're probably looking at thinking it's going to rain soon. Just start the bidding. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do that for you. And without any further ado, who would like to be the winner? Who would like to be the one that moves into this home? 750. Good start bidding. 750. Just bought the letterbox, ladies and gentlemen. $750,000. Can I say 850? At 850, I'm asking for 750 here on the left. At 750, now there's your competition, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get serious now. I would like to make the next bid at 750,000 now. At 850, good bidding and welcome, sir. Best of luck. At 850,000 now. It's against you, sir. Don't walk away now. At 850 here on the left, ladies and gentlemen, looking for 9. At 850, I'll take 50,000 if you like. At 850, once, twice, 3 times. At 800. At 900, welcome. That's our third bidder, ladies and gentlemen. Should give everybody confidence now. Last bid at 900,000. At 900,000, sir, come back in at 950. It's worth it every day of the week. At 900. At 900 now, ladies and gentlemen, all the actions here on the left. Welcome here on the right. At 900 now. At 900. At $900,000. I won't take 10, I'll take 50. Would you come up to 950, guys? At 950, I just need a nod. 940, I'll take your 40. Welcome back in now. You're back in front at 940. It's against you at 940, ladies and gentlemen. Still here on the left, live bidding now at 940. At 940, sir, come straight back in at 960. We'll take 20s if you like. At 940. Ladies and gentlemen, there should be CM arms at this level. At 940, are we and finish at $940,000. Twice times at 950. Welcome. At 150 now. At 950, it's average. At 950, he's moved positions, but he has. At 950, it's against you. In case anybody hasn't noticed now, same opportunity at 960. At 960, that's 4 bidders, ladies and gentlemen, or still on 3. At 960, at 960, once, twice, 3 times. At 960, at 9, I'm taking 10s. 970, good bidding. At 970, at 970, still with 10. I'm going to 5. At 970, at 970, at 970, can I say 980? At 970, once, twice, at 980, welcome. 980, at 980 now, looking for 990. At 990, ladies and gentlemen, opportunity now. Make no mistake. 5 square metres. Prime real estate. This is your opportunity. 6 Chapman. It's only at 980 on the left. We're done. Silent and finished. $980,000. I need to go inside and have a quick ask the thing, but we should be all right. Can I get a bid and I'll go in and ask? Can I get a bid from you, sir? 990, all I need is the nod. Where are we at? 980? Can I say 990? At 980, still here on the left. At 980, ladies and gentlemen, any more bidding? Ladies and gentlemen, pointing at 980. Did you put your hand up? Okay, at $980,000, I just needed to check. This could be very expensive. At $980,000 now, still here on the left. Give me 10. At 980. At 980. One. Done. And at 900. So, Sharif, have we got news from the owners? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, fantastic news. The bids, the keys are here. We are selling. We are on the market at 980,000. This is your time. At 9. 3 times. We're done. Silent and finished at 980,000. Last call. Guys, would you like to come back in at 980 now? 990? At 9,000? At 981. I'll take your bid, sir, as long as we're going up now at 981. Can I say 985? Give me 985. 985 now, back here on the left. Looks like they really want it. What an amazing purchase this will be. At 985,000. Ladies and gentlemen, don't miss it. You're going to wonder why you didn't. At 985,000. Once, twice, 3 times. We're done. Silent and finished. Call. Ladies and gentlemen, Pete, we are on the market. We are selling at $985,000. Yeah. At $985,000, ladies and gentlemen, no further bidding. We are selling 900. Back in, sir, like pulling blood from a stone. At 986, can I say 990? At 986, at 990. It took him that to bid. Last bid, it'll probably knock him out. Give me 9 at 986. His furthest, the back, closest to buying. At 990. At 990. I'm just confirming 990. At 990 now, back in front. 990,000. Ladies and gentlemen, opportunities. We are selling at $990. Price times at $990,000. Final call. Sir, can I get another 1,000 at 990? Huh? I don't know what you mean by wetsuit. At $990,000. Last calls, ladies and gentlemen. Purchase, you need to put your hand up. At $990,000. Ready to celebrate. I'll take 500. 500. 500 now, 990,000. 500 back in front, sir. At 990, 500. Will that 500 buy it? At 990. Once, twice. Got a ring to it. I like it. 900. Give one. Ladies and gentlemen, looking like they really 100. And finished at $998. Last opportunity. 999 now at 999. A mil. 990. At one now, at $1 million. Make it very clear, back in front. Give me another one, sir. At $1 million, don't lose it. Once, twice, three times. At $1 million. 500, mate. Gentlemen, open. If you would like to put your hand up now, $1 million, we will be the on the gentleman's got the at the back at $1 million. Even $1 million. Gentlemen, keeps changing his position. He's on the phone. Second, usually on the phone with whose wife's in the car, so he's not on. At $1 million. I thought $1 million, 1,000. 1,000, sir. Ones aren't working. You need 10,000. 1,000. At still at the back. At $1 million. They're not working. Give me 10. At 1,000. Once, twice, three times. At $1 million, 1,000. Thanks for your patience, mate. We're doing the same thing we're doing for you. Anyone's welcome to jump in at this stage and give me your bid. 5,000 now. At 5,000. At 1 million, 5,000. Sir, it's against you. Come straight back in. Show some strength. At 1 million, 5,000 with our bidders here on the left. At 1 million, 5,000. I've got to be quick this time. At 1 million, 5,000. Once. At 1 million, 6. Welcome back in, sir. You're back in front now. It's against you. At 1 million, 6,000. At 1 million, 6,000. I'll make this very, very quick now. Once, twice, three times. At $1 million, $6,000. What do we say, guys? I'm giving you the opportunity. I do need you to jump in, but at 1 million and 6,000 at the back. At 1 million, 6,000. I'll keep saying it, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to jump in. Don't wait. 7. At 7,000 now. At 7,000, I've made it very clear ones aren't working. At 1 million and 7. At 1 million 7, come in strong, sir. At $1 million and 10, a little bit stronger, but is it enough? At 1 million and 10. At 1 million, 10,000 at the back, ladies and gentlemen. Looking for that little bit more. At 1 million, 10,000. Give me 50. At 1 million, 10,000. Once, twice, three times. At 1 million, $10,000, our original bidder. At 1 million, 10,000. What do we say? At 5,000 now, 10 million.
1 million 15.
1 million and 15. At 1 million and 15. Can't blame me for trying.
They want 3.
1 million 15,000, ladies and gentlemen. We'll confirm that at 1 million and 15. At 1 million and 15, give me another 5. At 16. At 1 million and 16. At 1 million and 16, guys, come in stronger. It needs to be a lot stronger. At 1 million and 16, give me 25. At 1 million and 16 at the back, once, twice, three times. At $1 million and $16,000. Done. Silent. Finished. At 1 million and 16,000.
One more.
At 17 now, back here in front, 17. 18, straight back in at 18. At 18, give me 25. At 18 now, once, twice, three times. At $1 million and $18,000. Sir, are you bidding or are you saying hi to someone? Okay, at $1 million and 18, still confirming $1 million 18 at the back. At 1 million and 18. At 1 million and 20, I thought so. Now at 1 million and 20. At 1 million and 20, we can do this all day, ladies and gentlemen. Harcourt's Judge White, breaking records. At 1 million and 20. 21. At 21 now. At 21, can we say 30? I told you to give me 25 10 minutes ago. At 21 now. At 21, At the back, it's against you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll say it again, feel free to jump in. At $1,021,000, looks like you might have it at the back. Once, twice, 3 times. At $1,021,000.
$1,025,000.
At $1,025,000, now we're back at $1,025,000. At $1,025,000, can I say 30, sir? At $1,025,000, once, twice, 3 times. Are we done?
126.
At 126, straight back in now at 126. Give me 30. At $1,026,000, sir, you're not going to buy real estate shaking your head. You need to nod. At $1,026,000 at the back. Looks like you've got it, sir. At $1,026,000. Done. Silent. Finished. Last calls at $1,026,000. At 27 now, good bidding, back in at 27. Better to be late than never. At $1,027,000, sir, coming at 30. At $1,027,000 now. At $1,027,000, still on the phone. At $1,027,000, sir, come straight back in. Give me 30. We will be selling at $1,027,000. Last calls at $1,027,000. Once, twice, 3 times. At 28 now, 1,028,000, ladies and gentlemen. At $1,028,000 at the back. $1,028,000, guys, give me 30 and make it your last bid if you like. At $1,028,000 at the back. At $1,028,000. Final calls, ladies and gentlemen. At $1,028,000. Once, twice, 3 times.
30.
At 30 now, good bidding at 30. At $1,030,000, ladies and gentlemen. At $1,030,000 with our bidders here on the left, sir. Need you to come straight back in now. At $1,030,000. At $1,030,000. Once, twice, 3 times. $1,030,000. 31, I saw the nod. At $1,031,000 now, guys. Give me 38. Come in strong. I've been saying it. 31 at the back. Give me 38. At 31, guys, don't miss out. Still amazing value. At $1,031,000 is the bid. At $1,031,000 is the bid. We're asking for 38 or more. At 31. At 31. At $1,031,000, sir, still with you. Thanks. Can we say another one? At $1,031,000, guys, still amazing value. Remember, we're well under here. At $1,031,000, looks like you might have it. At $1,031,000, are we all done, ladies and gentlemen? Silent. Finished. Last calls at $1,031,000. 31, we're about to knock it down, sir. If you want to come in, give me 38, you're probably going to get it. Give me 38, you'll probably get it.
You never know.
Thank you for your patience, sir.
It's $500.
At $31,500 now. At $1,031,500, it's against you. They've got the key, sir. At another 1,000, 32,500. At 32,500. At the back again. At 32,500. It looks like they are done. At 32,500. Once, twice, 3 times. At $1,032,500. Last call. At $1,032,500. Guys, if you're thinking you're probably going to do it, just say yes. Okay, we say 35 or 38? 38? 38? 38's going to do it. 38's going to do it. At 35, we're back in front at 35 now. At $1,035,000, sir, what do we say? Let's be quick. At $1,035,000, with our buyers here on the left, they want it, they've got it at the moment. At $1,035,000. At $1,035,000. Once, twice, 3 times. We're done. Silent. Finished. At $1,035,000. 36, back at the back now at 36,000. Our original bidder at 36,000. Give me 38 at 36. At 1,036,000, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very pointy end. I'll repeat, jump in if you like. This is it. There's no other 6 Chapman Boulevard, ladies and gentlemen. 6 bedrooms, swimming pool, double garage, large 685 square metre block. The best pocket in Glen Waverley. You're not going to get another one at 1,036,000. Last opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, final call at $1,036,000. You've been amazing bidders. Thank you very much, sir. Get ready to celebrate. I'll knock it down now at $1,036,000, ladies and gentlemen. Final call at $1,036,000. 3, 2, 1 at $1,036,000. We are sold. Congratulations, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending.
Now that is an auction, Sophie Hull. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what I call an auction. That was really great work there by Andrew Damashki and sold. And he was ably assisted there by Dexter Prack, also from Harcourts in Glen Waverley. They did a great job of working.
They definitely did.
It was a very good-natured auction too, wasn't it? Everyone was
really
smiling
nice
and chatting.
Look, it's a great property and it's a family area and it's a 6-bedroom home, but starting off at $750,000 with the first bid, it jumped up pretty quickly and then slowed right down to $1,000 bids. It was on the market at $980, but gee, it took off from there and kept going up. And there was obviously 2 people who really wanted it. We were down to $500 bids, but it got over the line for that lucky purchaser, $1,036,000 for this great property in Glen Waverley. Really good result.
House prices in Sydney and Melbourne aren't bad news for everyone. For investors who pick the right properties, it could mean narrowing the gap between what they're shelling out on the purchase price and how much the property will return in rent.
To tell us how to spot a cash flow neutral property as prices pull back is Star Partners CEO Doug Driscoll. Doug, great to have you on the show as always. Firstly, can you explain to us what a cash flow property is?
A cash flow neutral property, in essence, is an investment property where the income derived from the rent covers your total expenses. And as you can well imagine, there's a cash flow positive and a cash flow negative property as well. And as the name suggests, one is where it's a surplus and one is where it's a deficit. Now, looking at cash flow neutral for the time being, there are a number of prerequisites or general rules of thumb. I think the first one is that you would need at least a 20% deposit in today's market.
Okay.
The second thing is that the rental yield needs to be at least 5%. And thirdly, I think it's fair to say that the mortgage rate would need to be anywhere between 4 and 4.5%. Now, typically cash flow neutral properties also tend to be apartments because the rental yields tend to be that much better. And of course, if the apartment block is less than 40 years old, you get those tax concessions through depreciation.
Okay, so now you've narrowed it down to actually just a very small pile of properties to pick from, I imagine.
It is, you know, obviously they are like unicorn tears, I'm afraid.
Yes.
They are very few and far between, and I do mean very few and far between.
Have falling rents has that kind of narrowed the gap? Because certainly rents have pulled back in Sydney. So if a lot of the, you know, property negating its own expenses relies on how much you're getting back in rent, does that mean the unicorns are crying even fewer tears?
Absolutely, yeah. I think a lot of people make the assumption that because house prices have come back, that then this is easier to achieve. But as you just alluded to, with rents coming back and vacancy rates going up, obviously that's somewhat negated that whole thing. And also there's a number of assumptions, one of which is obviously the property remains tenanted for the duration. It only takes 1 or 2 months, obviously, the property vacant, and then your numbers are thrown out of kilter altogether. And then it's more difficult to balance the books and obviously thus making sure that it's cash flow neutral.
So you mentioned that it's predominantly units that sort of tick this criteria, but are we also looking at sort of unique properties in great locations as well that then can demand a higher rental return because of their location and their suburb?
Absolutely. There was a recent study done by one of Australia's leading property buyers groups, and they said, though, that you're not going to find a cash flow neutral, cash flow positive property in Sydney or indeed Melbourne. They said that the closest you'll get from Sydney is about 100 kilometres away and in Melbourne about 40 to 50 kilometres away. So they really are extremely difficult to find. But
Okay,
as a
you're
market
about to
goer-
laugh in their faces because you actually have found us some.
Yes,
which is
absolutely.
very clever. You and your
That's
team
what we
at
like
Star
you on the show.
Partners. Now, George Street in Waterloo, this is one of these rare finds where the property will actually pay for itself.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you can see, the purchase price for this is a one-bedroom unit, by the way. The purchase price was $600. Obviously, in this instance, as I said before, there was a 20% deposit. The rental income comfortably covered the loan repayments, but then obviously you've got the various deductions. So you've got the agency's management fees and the various rates.
Okay, we're still you're going too fast for us, Doug. We're still, the purchase price was $600,
Yep.
so that they had to borrow $480 at 4.17%.
And again, as you can see there, then the loan repayments, and then you've got the rental income comfortably covers that. But then, of course, you've got those
Let's
those
move to the
expenses.
outgoings. Yeah, let's because here comes the bad news. We're looking at management fees, the rates, all the sorts of things that come out
Strata
of that.
and water.
Yeah.
Quite strong strata there, 3,200, but that's per annum, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so not as scary. I thought it was per quarter.
No, yeah. Give that one a wide berth if that was the case.
Yeah, correct.
But when we take all of that away, we're left with $785 annually in terms of the net cash flow.
Yes.
But then there's another set of calculations that you do after that.
Absolutely. As I said, if the building is less than 40 years old, you can claim up to 2.5% annually on the property's value as depreciation as well. And there's various other depreciation schedules around things like fixtures and fittings and white goods as well.
And people should speak to their accountants about getting details on that to understand a flow of that.
And I think also when you purchase a property, get a quantitative surveyor's report. It's really, really important because they'll tell you exactly what's what, and they'll be able to take exactly what you can claim back at the end of the year.
So this particular property in George Street, Waterloo, is giving the owner $2,000 back every year, or $2,251 back every year.
Yep.
Do they then expect you to come up with more of these sorts of solutions when you get able to provide these for a
I mean, look, as I
client?
said, I can't stress enough, this is a needle on the haystack, you know, and this is actually technically a cash flow positive property. But obviously what you always want is to create some form of buffer. So if obviously it does sit vacant for a period of time, then again, you've covered your costs. But again, there are those prerequisites, there are general rules of thumb, one of which is the deposit. If you're not putting down at least 20%, this isn't going to work. You know, you're going to be a cash flow negative situation, which is the case for the vast majority of investors.
Yeah, it
in
is,
Australia.
and they're relying a lot on capital gains, which at the moment is slowing back, but we did have a lot of leaps and bounds before this slowdown happened,
Yeah,
so people are ahead. And we've got another one in Cassia Street in DY.
Yep.
Purchase price of $750,000. Tell us about this one.
Again, this is a slightly higher deposit, so the loan itself was 77% of the purchase price. The loan repayments themselves are just over $24,000, and the rental income just over $31,000 per annum.
And they had a tenant in there from the date it settled, which is obviously an important factor.
And I think, yeah, absolutely. You know, if you can purchase a property where there's always a tenant in situ, then it makes your life a damn sight easier.
Yeah,
I think
correct.
it goes without saying.
Look after those tenants in this case.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And then we've got management fees, etc. Things
Yeah,
to
then we've got to
start
look
coming
at the
out.
deductions and the things that are going out.
Same kind of calculations, basically. And with this particular one, again, you're just about breaking even. The difference, however, with this particular apartment was the block was over 40 years old, so those depreciations we spoke about earlier weren't applicable. However, the strata levies here were quite low by comparison.
So this is Cassia Street DY we're looking at, not George Street Waterloo. Sorry about the mistake on the strap there. So management fees are $1,000, rates are $900 per annum, water. So the net cash flow after all of those sorts of things is only just over $500.
Yeah, so I mean that's as close to neutral as you're ever going to get, that one. Just about balances the books. But as I said, this one, those tax depreciations didn't apply because it was more than 40 years old, the building. But also to offset that, the strata fees were quite low by comparison, certainly for the area.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it is those strata fees that really knock things up, especially in new blocks. They look great, but if they've got the pool, if they've got these things,
pools, all
of those things that people
absolutely.
love, which also can positively affect your rental return, because they are a big draw card, especially for young professionals. Otherwise, it's a big cost going out as well. We've got one in Kite Street,
Aberglasslyn.
I've got to get my Scottish accent out there. I'm sorry about that.
You might ask Doug Driscoll.
Yeah, you should be able to say it
you
for
say
us.
Aberglasslyn for us.
Aberglasslyn. No, I won't even attempt nor indeed insult my Scottish cousins.
No. Tell us about this one, Kite
We
Street.
don't mind it.
So now this one's interesting. So those that don't know Aberglasslyn, this is in the Hunter region, and where this one differs the most is actually a house, which it makes it even more unusual.
Right.
But obviously Aberglasslyn is some distance from metropolitan Sydney, and the beauty of this is that again the numbers stack up. So the asking price, I think it's a guide between 4 and 415, but let's say that the purchase was successful getting it at the lower end of that scale.
Yep.
Obviously, again, based on that 20% deposit, they would need to borrow 320. We work on the assumption that rate would be give or take about 4.1%, which is currently available for most of the major lenders.
It doesn't look like it's going to change.
No, absolutely. And then again, the rental income just about covers the loan repayments. There aren't any strata fees, but obviously there are the council rates and so on and so forth. So again, this one leaves you with a grand total of $104 in deficit. But again,
It's positive. Well, it's slightly
properties,
it's slightly positive. It's not neutral at 0-0.
What's $104 between friends? That's the closest we're going to get, I'm afraid.
Yeah, we could take you out for dinner on the profits of our house.
Especially in Aberglasslyn. You can have a beautiful dinner there, I'm sure, for $104.
But it does show that it pays to keep an eye on the regions and to go just, not that far from the city. It's only an hour and a half, 2 hours drive from Sydney.
Absolutely,
but there are some unicorn tiers.
There is a real estate market outside of Sydney and Melbourne.
What?
So, I know.
No.
Horror.
We like that. We follow it on this show. We love the whole country and even that little tiny island underneath that beautiful Tasmania. Doug Driscoll, thank you so much for coming on the show. We always love your knowledge and your positive energy for the real estate market. And we love your knowledge as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, James. Thanks, Sophie.
We're taking a short break, and when we come back, we're going to prove there is a property market outside of Sydney and Melbourne. Thanks very much, Doug Driscoll, because our next auction is in Mount Gravatt East. We're heading there shortly. Welcome back to Auction Day on Your Money. Our next live auction is underway in Mount Gravatt. This is 31 Spence Street. Bids are being taken very shortly. Let's tune in.
Necessary to transfer the property to the buyer, and they also appoint the auctioneer as their agent and grant him irrevocable authority to sign all documents and papers needed to make that transfer. Ladies and gentlemen, conditions to apply are those that are contained in the contract of sale that has been on display. REIQ Law Society approved contracts, as I explained. A couple of the conditions that normally accompany that won't be here today. Clause 3, the finance clause, is not applicable. That certainly simply means you're bidding on the understanding your finance has been arranged to your satisfaction. Clause 4, the building and pest inspection. If you did want to go and spend money on your independent personal building and pest inspection, that's entirely up to you, but I don't think many people have needed to do that. But ladies and gentlemen, please understand you are taking the property in as is, where is condition. And finally, the cooling off period is also not applicable here today. All bidding and the contract for sale will be on a cash unconditional basis. We will be looking, ladies and gentlemen, anywhere between a 5 and 10% deposit, so we're flexible with the deposit, and of course if that does need to be electronically transferred, then we can, I'm sure we can build that into the contract. And ladies and gentlemen, a cash settlement with a balance in 60 days time. So ladies and gentlemen, 60 days time is your settlement date. Please make sure you've noted that down, just to give everyone plenty of opportunity to get things together from there. Ladies and gentlemen, GST is not applicable in today's price. That just simply means that the knockdown price will indeed be the sale price. So there's your terms and conditions. Very quickly to the contract. Number 31 Spence Street, Mount Gravatt East is the street address. It is known as Lot 10. On register plan 13395. Title reference is 13006170. Of course, we are under the jurisdiction of the Brisbane City Council. Full certificate has been provided with a Form 17, and of course we had land of 647 square metres. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's your formal part of the auction completed. Just before I hand it over for your bidding and consideration, a few words. As I've said before, there are some properties where you could stand here literally for 10, 15, 20 minutes to go through everything that a particular property has. I think I'm selling this property short by saying that I could probably stand here for half an hour. 3 key ingredients, ladies and gentlemen, that everyone's looking for when they're looking for wonderful real estate to purchase. The firstly, location. Nice and high for those people who've been upstairs, and I can see them on that Juliet balcony outside the main bedroom. You can see the height looking over the suburbs, looking back towards Mount Gravatt East, and of course that's going to make sure you get plenty of air, and of course that's always nice to have in the stifling conditions we've had. 647 square metres of land, ladies and gentlemen, almost in a city acreage nowadays. And then, of course, you do have this wonderful 18-month family home that has been put here on this great block of land. And as I said before, really we could go on all day, but we know the main features, the 5 bedrooms, that main bedroom upstairs with that huge ensuite, and of course walk-in wardrobes, master, its own balcony, another 3 bedrooms and living area upstairs, and then down below that 5th bedroom with the 3rd bathroom, and of course that plethora of casual and formal living entertaining areas that come out onto this big covered area here that you'll spend so much of your time with, watching the kids have a little swim. Even in today's climate, I'm sure they wouldn't mind a little bit of a swim. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very hard to really sit and go through every item. That kitchen is stunning. You've got that massive big butler's kitchen. Of course, as you'd expect, the double lock-up car accommodation, all the security, and of course the mod cons as you expect. Integrated fridge. It's all here for you. Literally, in 60 days' time, the only thing that you have to do is pack the bags that you're in now and move into this wonderful home and enjoy it like the owners who have built it have done so. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been patient. You're not here to listen to me rabbit on about the home. You've had the opportunity of having a good look at it. Now's the time to find out who that wonderful new buyer is going to be to enjoy this home. Good luck with your bidding here this morning. So for number 31 Spen Street here, right in the heart of Mount Gravatt East, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in your hands. I'm looking for that all-important starter opening bid to go. Where do we start? You start me off, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be bashful. There's only a few people here.
$1,200,000.
I love the bid, sir. $1,200,000. A great opening bid at 1.2 we go. At $1,200,000, where do we go north from that? Love to invite you back in for a 25 on top to go. At $1,200,000 in your hands, ladies and gentlemen. Nice big bold bid, sir. That's the way to play it. At $1,250,000 is where I'd like to see it come back from there if you like now. At $1,200,000 we're fairly bid now. Do I give you 3 quick opportunities? At $1,200,000 now as the bid's against you now. Take it back at 2.5. At 2.5 we go. At $1,250,000, sir, it's against you at 50 now to get back in front. At $1,050,000, we have $1,250,000, we go back straight away. At $1,250,000, come back again strong, sir, now. At $1,250,000, now it's back in your hands. 3 opportunities, $1,250,000 on my right-hand side then. First call. $1,250,000. Think about it carefully. Still great buying at that. 25 to get you back in front. 75 I'll hold. At 75 we hold. 75? 1.3. Thank you, John. 1.325 straight back. At 1,325,000 we go. At 1,325, do I say 1,350? At 1,325 now back with the starter, John, against you now. Do I say 1,350,000 to get you in front? At $1,325,000. First time here. At $1,325,000 I'm bid. Second call. Walk away, 25.50 if you like. 1,325,000. Do you come back at 50 now? Instructions to go. Called it twice.
Do you take 1.33?
No.
No?
I'm okay at 1.34. I couldn't be honest. I was just telling you how it is. 1,340,000 at 1,340,000. I didn't want to sugarcoat it for you. 1,340,000. What do we say, sir? Come back again. 50 or 60 in your hands to go. Big bold bid perhaps at 1.4 even. Blow them out of the water. It might be the oxygen bid. At 1,340,000. John holding the bid now with you. At 1,340,000. Do I say 50 or 60? At 1,340,000. 45. At 5 now. 45.50 if you like to come back. At $1,345,000 now. Open to everybody to get involved. At $1,345,000. At $1,345,000. First call. What do we say? Are we saying 50? Are we saying 2 million? 1.35. We've already got 1.45, so I'm not going backwards. We'll go up to 1.35. 1,350,000. 1,350,000 we go. At 50 now, sir. Do I say 1.4? Do we go nice and strong? You did it at the beginning. It was a great ploy. Do we do it at the end as well? At 1,350,000. What about a 50 on top? It's just a little 0 on the end of your 5. Between friends, no one recognises that. $1,350,000. Come back again. Don't go in the 5, sir. Go bold. You did it before. Come back at 1.4. Be in front well and truly. 1,350,000. Open on my left and my right as well. At $1,350,000. First time of asking. Come back, sir. It's great buying. You know it. I'm sure it was you, ma'am, who said the rain would hold off for me. You did say that. Now you just got to finish off the bidding. $1,350,000, ladies and gentlemen, in your hands to go north from that point now. At 135, where do we go from there? At $1,350,000. I'm open for you to come back now. 510. 351. We're going for the auction, really don't. That's okay. 51. I'm here for the long haul. Paid by the bid. That's all right. 1,351,000. Do we come back at 55 or 60? At 1,351,000. I think I might move. I'm wearing out the grass here. At $1,351,000. What do we say? Love to see you back in front, but I do the same. Do we come back at 1.4? 1,351,000. Love to see you in front. 1,351,000. Don't say 2, please. It's a long day. 1,351,000. Do we say 5 or 60? Don't hang back. Come in bold. 1,351,000. 55 we go. 55.
Chuck an extra 6 on it.
56?
No, go 61.
6 on time. 61? I like the bidding. A bit complicated, but I'm a very simple man, sir.
That's all right.
1,361,000. At $1,361,000. That's where the bid's now back with the starter on my right-hand side now. At 1,361,000. Do we say 1.37? I don't mind. You come back. 2-horse race is probably big enough for both of you to live in. $1,361,000 then. First call. Do we say more? $1,361,000. Back on my right-hand side. Don't walk away. Come back again. Won't get a second chance. $1,361,000. I've called it for the first call. Second call. We're going again. 365. Do we say 71, sir? I don't mind the funny bids now. I'm in line with you now. 1,365,000. $1,365,000. Been a bit quiet on my left-hand side. Love to see you come in. Perhaps you're just waiting for the end part. At $1,365,000 then. Do we say any further, sir? 3 quick opportunities to get you back. At $1,365,000. First call. At $1,365,000. Sir, not quite yet.
Not quite yet.
Not quite. You notice the word quite. Gives you a bit of a hint, sir. But I might need your help to get me there. We're in a bit of a Mexican standoff. $1,365,000. Second call. You're done and finished at 1,365,000. Any further advance, sir, at 1,365,000? Any further advance from any further in the group here today? 1,365,000. Sir, are you waving or are you bidding? Because that nearly cost you 1.4. So, ma'am, the bids.
One more grand. We'll go another.
All right, well, chuck it in there for another bit. Why not 1,366,000? At $1,366,000. I don't mind, sir. I'm happy for you to come along for the ride. At $1,366,000, then what do we say back with you joining the buyers at the back there now? At $1,366,000. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you can see wonderful value. We know we can in your hands at $1,366,000. At $1,366,000, do we say 70 to go? $1,366,000 then. First time of asking. At $1,366,000, second call. Instructions, John, what are they now? You're going again? Need to know? $1,366,000 is the bid down here on my right-hand side. It's against you. That's all you have to worry about right now. At $1,366,000, I've called it twice. Called it for the third time. What are you saying?
1.37.
1.37. Now the fold of the arms could be temporary, sir. They could just be comfortable. You just keep comfortable. 1,370,000. At 1,370,000, I'll still make sure everyone gets plenty of opportunity. Put their foot forward nice and firmly here. At 1,370,000, sir, I don't mind taking a 1 again. Seems to go nicely, the 1s and then the 5s and the 1s. Might be easier at 1.4, that's all I'll say. $1,370,000 then. Do I see a further rise, a further increase? First time of calling. So do I say 71 or 72? And forget about the other bit before it. $1,370,000 on bid. Second call. Do we go again, sir? 71? $1,370,000 then. Third and final time. Are you done, signed and finished and quiet? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to ask you patience just a little bit here. I'm just going to pause at 1.37 with you holding the bid there, John, so it's against you at this stage. I am going to pop inside and have some quick discussions with my owners, and of course I'll be back here very, very shortly. Won't be long.
Well, we're just going in for a little pause there with Mark Fratter, auctioneer at this property in 31 Spence Street in Mount Gravatt East, having a bit of a chat. Big crowd.
Big crowd for a very interesting property. Bidding has stopped at 1, but it's well above anything that you would see in Mount Gravatt.
1.37.
So while they deliberate, which may take some time, we're going to preview our next auction because we can sit around and wait for no one here on this show. We're busy. Surrounded by prestigious homes, this Ride home has 5 bedrooms, a sweeping staircase and plenty of entertaining areas. This is 21 Claremont Avenue, going under the hammer very soon. We're joined now by one of our great friends, Standard Selling Agent Karen Davis, for a preview. Karen, good afternoon to you. Another very unusual home for the area. Tell us a bit about what's on offer here in Claremont Avenue.
Yeah, hi Sophie, I'm at 21 Claremont Avenue in Ryde. It's a beautiful, substantial home, designed and built 15 years ago. All around the area, new homes are coming up, so it's a very desirable location. It's a 5-bedroom home. It's got 4 living areas, so there's plenty of room to spread out. Beautiful Smeg kitchen, granite tops. Yeah, it's an absolutely gorgeous place. It's got lovely level green lawns, and straight out the back of the property is Yamble Park Reserve, which has barbecue facilities and gorgeous lawns, manicured lawns. It also has a childcare centre in that park, plenty of schools in the area, and all the infrastructure that Ryde has to offer. So a wonderful home. We've had quite a lot of interest and we're expecting a good auction today.
Yeah, look, it is a substantial home, Karen, but also a good sized block, which you don't always get those two things together. And you are right. I mean, you've got Top Ryde Shopping Centre not far away. You've got Macquarie Shopping Centre. So it's really in the hub of it, plus the Macquarie Business Park. So what sort of people are coming through? I'm sure it's had a lot of attention, this property.
Lots of families, and because it has either a study or a second bedroom on the lower level with a large powder room and shower, a lot of people are possibly coming here with maybe an elderly parent as well, that they can take advantage of all the living areas. Plus, of course, lots of people with young families, because just out the back past the park is Smalls Road, where they're putting one of the brand new schools up. It will be there by 2020, which is very attractive for young families.
It certainly is. So much on offer there, Karen. We're really looking forward to your auction coming up here very soon on auction day. Thanks for that preview.
Thank you.
Thanks, Karen.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Right, we're going to head back to Brisbane now. Like I said, busy.
Auction ping pong.
That auction in Mount Gravatt is just restarting. Actually, not quite restarted, but
they've just gone in to have a bit of...
It looks like they're having a party while they wait for it to get...
The numbers are really strong for this one. If you've just joined us, it's 31 Spence Street in Mount Gravatt East. Mark Fratter, the auctioneer, has gone inside to have a bit of a chat, which they do like to do in that part of our country. We started off at the bidding. The first bid was 1.2 million, and it's not been a lot, but there's definitely been a couple of parties very interested in this one. We're currently sitting at 1,370,000 for this 5-bedroom, 3-bath and 3-car property.
Now, we did speak a bit earlier on the show about the perils of online estimates, but we went ahead and did one anyway. Good. And the online estimate for this was 750,000, because there is just nothing to compare it with, basically, in Mount Gravatt East. This is a very ambitious and beautifully built home for this area. Other comparable sales are all sort of in that 700 to 800 range. So to see the bidding sitting at 1.3 and to have heard that it's not yet on the market at that, it shows that there are very high hopes for this house. It could even set a suburb record. Yeah, look, it shows there as last sold 486,500, but that was the previous property, which was knocked down and rebuilt. This property now that we're looking at is only 12 months old. It's quite a new property, so it's offering a lot, and there's a lot of interest in this one. All right, we might just go to a quick break now, and hopefully when we get back, we'll find out the fate of 31 Spence Street, Mount Gravatt East. Stay with us on auction day. Your Money presents more auction day after the break. deliberations are dragging out there in Mount Gravatt East over 31 Spence Street. This is a very unusual house. It's a custom-built house with everything that opens and shuts, all the bells and whistles, and it's a real landmark in the area. There's nothing else quite like it in Mount Gravatt.
It's interesting they've got the fan going full bore because you can see the wind on the left there with those trees and they're blowing around as well. I hope it's not from the fan.
Well,
they've had a really good turnout with this crowd.
And the great thing about this show is we cut to, you know, little bits of Australia at different times of the day. So in Melbourne this morning, everyone was in overcoats and looking absolutely frozen, and it was drizzling rain. Brisbane looks like it's kind of a bit warm and humid and breezy there today.
We started off at 1.2 million with the first bid on this property, and look, there's been a little bit in it. Mark Frater, who is inside having a chat now, as is Stan Agawar, the agent who we spoke with a little bit earlier. They've just managed to get up to 1.37 at the moment, but it's a beautiful property. It's only 12 months old, and it's just, that's why it's had such strong popularity. It was a 5-week campaign, but Stan was telling us they had 124 inspections, so it's been really hotly contested, and that's why all of our online searching for anything comparable, we're well and truly past that because it's quite unique for where it is sitting in its street.
Yeah, we're nowhere near. The online comparisons put it at about 750,000, which is not what we're looking at so far. They paid $486,000 for this place in 2013 and have done a complete knockdown rebuild and built this extraordinary home which has drawn a real crowd. There's a lot of people, I don't know if they're all registered bidders or they're just people really interested to see how a house like this would perform in Mount Gravatt.
Yeah.
They didn't need to show up, they could have just watched our show, James.
No, they didn't need to. Look, I've got some information, but it's based on a 3-bedroom home, and the one we're looking at today is 5-bedroom. But based upon this, the median sales price for Mount Gravatt East in Queensland in the last year was $640,000, based on 76 home sales. Compared to the same period 5 years ago, it was for the 3-bedroom homes it's increased by 32%. So it's about a compound annual growth rate of 5.7%. So it's not too bad, even with the shuffle that's going on around the country with the real estate market.
Yeah, I mean, we look at Mount Gravatt's growth. It went up 0.5% in the past 12 months, but it went up 3.5% the year before that, then 0.6% the year before that, 14% in 2015. So there has been sort of slow, steady growth. There was one leap forward, but it was 3 or 4 years ago. Other than that, it's been pretty slow increments, which it's grown by, but no red. You know, it hasn't gone backwards at any stage.
We use various tools here to get our information, and we know that we share them with you all at home so that you can source information on your own property and the suburbs you're looking at. But you could see that the numbers for searching for this one were higher than the state average. So this particular suburb is doing quite well with attention, and it's also reflected here in the large numbers that are waiting now outside. There's a poor little kid sitting there scratching his arm waiting for mum and dad saying, can we please go out? No son, we're buying your house.
Why can't we just go jump in that pool while we're waiting?
You can see from inside it's quite beautifully designed. The finishes are great. Beautiful contrast, dark carpet upstairs, but look at that kitchen, beautifully designed and put together.
Yeah, it certainly is. Look, we're used to a pause in a Brisbane auction. We've come to expect it, so we come equipped for these pauses with lots of information to furnish you with about the property while we wait to see what's going on behind closed doors. We've spoken at length to a few Brisbane auctioneers about what's actually going on when, you know, we have to switch our cameras off and they go in and have a bit of a chat. And it's quite revealing, isn't it?
It is very revealing. So we've got a play of certain things that are happening, and it is part of the auction process. Inside they're having a discussion with the vendors to see how the price is going. They're also having a chat with the prospective bidders outside. So there's a couple who are playing against each other, and the agents will be talking to them now just to gauge their interest and see if they can get a little bit more out of them, so that when the auctioneer does come back out, Mark Frater, to recommence the bidding process, he can already possibly be armed with some increase in bids and see where this one's going to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd be very keen to... And the other annoying thing about Brisbane auctions is they don't give us a reserve. They don't sort of set the price before the auction, which is why this deliberation takes place. But it would be great to know what they're actually chasing for this property, isn't it? Because if they paid $485 for it in 2011, and then they've done, obviously, a big, expensive build on the side, but would they have spent I don't know, 800,000 or 900,000 on that build.
Possibly,
I wonder how much it is.
Yeah, the finishes are quite high end. They've got beautiful height in the ceilings. It's a custom made home. It's not just a project home, and nothing gets project homes because I can definitely spec those up. I do in my role. But the beautiful kitchen there, and you can see the finishes. So they well and truly could have reached that figure in a new price. It's a nice flat block, so it's been cost effective to build on, and they've also put in the pool. So they've really done a lot since the original home, and I was sourcing details on there and realised as I was finding the original home was 1960s house. So it's definitely changed since then.
Yeah, it
looks like he might be on his way back outside now to recommence. He's walking along, getting ready to go back by the pool. Here he goes. Let's listen to what Mark Fratter has to say.
Dodgy, so we'll see if we just get things going a bit quicker. I left you a couple of minutes ago. The highest bid was being held at $1,370,000, and we've obviously been having some discussions with the highest bidder and, of course, the owners. That bid has now been raised slightly to $1,380,000, and ma'am, I just need your acknowledgement on that. But at $1,380,000, I can tell you that we are on the market, sir. We are now playing for keeps. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have come here to register, if you have come here to bid, and you have been waiting in the wings, waiting to see what's been taking place, now we are on the market. Can't make it any clearer than that. On the fall of the hammer, the property will have a new owner. And ladies and gentlemen, you're holding the keys right now, ma'am. All the very best. But sir, you've been with me all the way as well. I'll give you every opportunity to come back in and maybe throw a little bit more on the table. $1,380,000 then on the market now. Where do I see any further rise, further bid? $1,380,000, I'll give you 3 opportunities. At $1,380,000 then, first time. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, this is your opportunity. 18 months old, you're not going to get it again. $1,380,000 then, second call. Sir, have I got your very best? You're sure? I'll ask you again. $1,380,000 then, the third and final time. Are you all done, signed and finished, sir? You're sure? Do appreciate your bidding. At $1,380,000, we're going. Congratulations, sold at $1,388,000 to the highest buyer there. Sir, thank you very much indeed for your bidding. Congratulations to our sellers and our buyers, of course. We look forward to seeing it at another place, Sunnybank on-site auction, very, very shortly.
Wow, much ado. There was a long.
It was actually 1,388, wasn't it? I think we might be $8,000
correct. We apologise. It's $1,388,000 is actually the sales price for that one. Managed to get a little bit more.
Which is a lucky number for certain bidders.
Yeah, eight's a very popular number in the Asian culture, a number for good luck. But really strong crowd there who were obviously all anxious to see how this property went. There was only really a couple of bidders in it at the end there who were getting over the line, and lots of hugs there. So it looks like some people are really happy, and others have walked away ready to go to their next auction. We've got us sold. Well done to.
I feel like I should give you a hug now.
Oh, thank you. You can always do that.
There was a bit of waiting around, but we got there in the end.
A beautiful home with only 12 months old. So they've done a lot, and obviously a bit of adjustment to see where they're going to go, but they were happy to get over the line, and that did turn it into a sale today. Really well done.
Yeah, it certainly did. Great to see.